This series is based on a true story. Day 1. The events take place in one of the English towns. Detective Inspector Luke Bascom and his colleague, Sergeant Misha Frank, are keeping watch over the Miller household. Soon armed police storm the house to arrest 13-year-old Jaime Edward Miller. His parents and sister have no idea what is happening. Detective Bascom presents Eddie Miller, the head of the family, with a search warrant for the house. Jaime is arrested on suspicion of a particularly serious crime. The boy screams that he is innocent and calls for his father. Detective Bascom explains to Jaime that any attempt to resist will only worsen his situation. The police begin searching the house for evidence, ignoring Eddie's protests. The Millers cannot believe it when the detective states the monstrous charges against Jaime. His parents are allowed to follow the police car. Jaime cries, still calling for his dad. Detective Bascom urges the boy to calm down. Jaime in turn insists that he has done nothing wrong. The detective advises him to remain silent until they reach the station and to demand a lawyer as soon as possible. Bascom also introduces Jaime to his social representative, Derek, from the Doncaster Social Services. This is necessary since Jaime is a minor. Jaime is unable to calm down. Finally, the journey, which felt agonizingly long, comes to an end. At the police station, Jaime is asked to state his full name and is read his rights. Any word he says can be used as evidence against him. Jaime wants his official representative to be his father, not Derek. When asked about any mental disorders, Jaime replies that he is healthy. Despite the stressful situation, the boy manages to hold himself together fairly well. Now he will be taken to a cell and given a chance to have breakfast, as he has not eaten yet today. Afterward, he will be able to speak with his parents and lawyer, and all necessary samples will be taken from him. As Jaime is led to the cell, he hears other detainees, grown men, shouting and causing a commotion. For the next 24 hours, Jaime will remain in temporary custody. Jaime's entire family is already there. Detective Bascom explains that their son has the right to a free lawyer. Of course, Eddie agrees to be Jaime's legal representative and to be present during the interrogation, as well as when the nurse collects DNA samples. Luke Bascom asks Eddie and Manda Miller directly if they know anything about the crime. Without hesitation, they reply that their son has never mentioned anything of the sort. The whole family is completely bewildered. The couple reassures their 17-year-old daughter, Lisa, that this is just a mistake and that Jaime will be released soon. None of them can even entertain the thought that Jaime might be capable of something so terrible. Misha Frank and Luke Bascom discuss the case, wondering if Jaime might have had problems with his father. Misha expresses the opinion that the Millers seem like a well-off family. An expert arrives. The suspected instrument of crime is a kitchen knife. The main difficulty is that Jaime is a minor. Luke also has a wife and a son, a schoolboy, just like Jaime. The situation is hard to comprehend. Jaime is told that he will not be released home until the police have sorted everything out. Naturally, Eddie firmly believes in his son's innocence and is determined to do everything he can to get him out of there. Eddie is then taken to the family room, but no one gives him a direct answer about how long Jaime will be held. The lawyer, Polly Barlow, arrives. He is not yet familiar with the case materials, so he has little to say in order to improve the situation. Soon the sergeant and detective provide him with all the case materials. The incident allegedly took place yesterday. DNA traces were found at the crime scene. Jaime is the primary and only suspect. Eddie is required to be present when Jaime is photographed, and when DNA samples and fingerprints are taken. The boy complies with every instruction given to him. At the same time, Jaime is introduced to his lawyer. At the insistence of both the lawyer and his father, Jaime refuses to provide the password to his phone. Eddie protests when the police ask Jaime to show whether he has any cuts or bruises on his body. Eddie believes this is a major psychological ordeal for a teenager, and besides, Jaime is only a suspect, not a convicted criminal. However, the officers insist, and Jaime, against his father's opinion, agrees to the procedure. Then Jaime is ordered to change into prison attire. Finally, Polly Barlow is given the opportunity to speak with his client. The lawyer explains to the boy that it does not matter whether he did what he is accused of or not. The only thing that matters is proving his innocence in court. Jaime should answer no comment to all police questions about what happened last night. Before the interrogation, Polly Barlow advises Eddie not to answer the detective's questions on his son's behalf. Undoubtedly, this is a shock for Jaime's entire family, but if the police have raided their home, there must be some substantial evidence. Eddie wants to hear the truth from his son, even if it is horrifying. But Jaime continues to deny his involvement. The interrogation begins, conducted by Detective Bascom and Sergeant Frank. When asked what he was doing last night, Jaime responds with no comment, just as his lawyer advised. The detective realizes that continuing with direct questions will lead nowhere, so he shifts the topic to Jaime's academic performance. The boy is a good student, but lately he has had some behavioral issues. The police are aware that Jaime has left aggressive comments under models' photos on his Instagram. Jaime also has shared photos with his two good friends, Tommy and Ryan. A sneaker presumably belonging to Jaime was found at the crime scene. Next, he is questioned about his classmate, Katie Leonard. Jaime confirms that they interacted but only at school. At the same time, the boy denies seeing Katie yesterday, whose body was found in a parking lot. When asked where he was at that time, Jaime responds no comment. The detectives mention that surveillance cameras captured Jaime following Katie through town shortly before the crime. The boy hesitates, and Eddie, believing in his son's innocence, asks him to answer the police officer's question. In addition, there is footage showing Jaime and Katie in the parking lot, clearly involved in an altercation. At one point, Jaime attacks Katie. Eddie does not want to believe what he has seen. Jaime can no longer deny his involvement. The detectives know that he disposed of his clothes but kept the sneakers because they were too expensive. Now the police only want to understand the boy's motive. Jaime cries, refusing to answer the question. The detectives decide to end the interrogation. When they are left alone, Eddie also cries, unable to comprehend that his son is a monster. Eddie does not understand why. Crying together, father and son embrace. Day 3. The entire town is shocked by the girl's death. Detective Bascom and Sergeant Frank visit the school to speak with the teachers. Tommy and Ryan are nervous, as they saw Jaime shortly before the incident. Tommy has no doubt that Jaime is involved. The boys know something about the knife. 15-year-old Adam, Luke Bascom's son, attends the same school. His peers constantly bully him. Many parents now question whether the school is safe. This could have serious consequences. Jade, Katie's best friend, is taking this especially hard. The detective and sergeant speak with her. Detective Bascom gives the girl a business card for the police station in case she remembers anything else later. In passing, Jade mentions that Adam, the detective's son, is not popular at school. She dislikes it when the detectives claim that Jaime and Katie were friends, based on her comments under his posts online, and Jade refuses to continue the conversation. Then the officers ask the other students to inform their teacher, Mr. Malik, if they know anything. Luke Bascom wonders why Jade was so angry. Her words about Katie hating Jaime contradict the facts. All students and teachers are devastated by what happened. It is a terrible shock for everyone. Mrs. Fenimore describes what a wonderful person Katie was and how much everyone loved her. The detectives decide to observe the students and later individually question those who react strangely. But suddenly an alarm sounds, and the teachers evacuate the students from the school. Most likely it is a false alarm, but all precautions must be taken. Amid the chaos, Luke Bascom asks Mr. Malik if Jaime seemed like a happy child. Mr. Malik cannot give a definitive answer. All teenagers are unbearable. Suddenly Jade starts attacking Ryan, for some reason blaming him for Katie's death. The teachers barely manage to pull the enraged girl away and restore order among the students. Once the teachers ensure that the school is safe, all students are brought back inside. Detective Bascom speaks with Ryan, who still has scratches from Jade's attack. The young man reluctantly answers the detective's questions but does not hide the fact that he saw Jaime on that fateful day. When the conversation shifts to the whereabouts of the knife, Ryan avoids further discussion. Due to her attack on a classmate, Jade's mother is summoned to the school. The teacher, Mrs. Bailey, knows that the girl has a complicated relationship with her mother. Jade could now be in serious trouble because of her outburst, depending on what Ryan decides. Mrs. Bailey suggests that the girl see the school psychologist, but she refuses to go again and leaves in tears. Looking dejected, Adam asks his father for a private conversation. They are given a separate classroom. Adam reveals to his father that Jaime belongs to the incel subculture and that the police misinterpreted Katie's comments under Jaime's posts. In reality, she was mocking him, publicly declaring that women would never find him attractive. Bascom does not immediately grasp the significance of this, as he is hearing about such a subculture for the first time. It is hard to believe that two emojis of a specific color could signify hidden online bullying. Bascom immediately informs Sergeant Frank and Mrs. Fenimore. Now Jaime's motive becomes evident. The detective and the sergeant discuss their next steps. Misha expresses her frustration that in high-profile cases like this, people remember the perpetrator but not the victim. Before wrapping up, Bascom decides to speak with Ryan again, convinced that he is withholding information. When the detective enters the classroom, the boy escapes through the window. Bascom gives chase, calling for the boy to stop, but Ryan keeps running. Eventually Bascom catches up to him, demanding answers about the knife. Under pressure, Ryan confesses that the knife was his. He thought Jaime only wanted to scare Katie, not take her life. As for the knife's current location, Ryan claims he does not know, or at least that's what he says. The young man is arrested on suspicion of criminal conspiracy. The case takes an unexpected turn. Bascom offers to take his son out for lunch, acknowledging how little time they spent together due to his demanding job. Adam agrees, seeing this as an opportunity to bond with his father. Eddie brings flowers to Katie's memorial, overwhelmed by unbearable guilt. 7 months later, Bryony Ariston, a clinical psychologist, visits Jaime at the juvenile detention center. This is Bryony's 5th visit. For the most part, Jaime behaves calmly, though he was once caught fighting with another boy. Bryony's goal is a psychological and psychiatric assessment. Knowing that Jaime enjoys hot chocolate with marshmallows, she plans to bring him some to create a more trusting atmosphere for their conversation. Bryony starts with simple questions, leading Jaime to the topic of what it means to be a man. Jaime is smart enough to recognize this tactic and expresses his displeasure. He prefers direct questions rather than beating around the bush. Jaime's family is completely ordinary. His father works hard to provide the best for his children. He also loves sports and is disappointed that Jaime is not athletic at all. Talking about this, Jaime becomes visibly nervous. The topic is clearly painful for him because his father has always been ashamed when Jaime failed in sports. It is commonly believed that all boys should be athletic and able to stand up for themselves. Jaime would rather await trial in a regular prison than in this madhouse. He feels it is unfair that Ryan was released home before the trial. Bryony tries to explain that Ryan is not accused of such a serious crime, but this only enrages Jaime further. He starts shouting and in a fit of anger, swipes the hot chocolate off the table. Bryony clearly did not expect such a reaction. A guard intervenes, but she assures him that everything is fine, though she still takes a break. Jaime asks her to bring him more hot chocolate. Bryony needs the break to collect her thoughts. She asks the guard to let her into the surveillance room to observe Jaime's body language while he believes no one is watching. Body language can reveal a lot about a person's mental state. Bryony returns to the conversation with Jaime, who promises to control his emotions from now on. She asks him how his father treats his mother. She then realizes she forgot about the hot chocolate, but Jaime says he does not deserve it anyway. The boy says that his parents get along well. The psychologist asks him about his experiences with relationships. Jaime says he has seen explicit photos of 2 classmates. Bryony suspects that one of those girls was Katie. Jaime confirms it. Everyone in their class had seen those photos because the boy Katie sent them to had shared them with the entire class. After that, everyone started mocking Katie, calling her flat-chested, and Jaime shared that opinion. Jaime is attracted to women, but he is convinced that women are not interested in him because he is ugly. When the psychologist starts asking more provocative questions, Jaime loses his temper again. This time Bryony remains composed, firmly demanding that the boy sit back down. But Jaime is in no hurry to comply, nervously pacing around the room. Eventually he sits down, not hesitating to insult Bryony, and agrees to continue the conversation just to get rid of her faster. Bryony asks the boy to talk about bullying at school. He, Ryan and Tommy were indeed mocked. The 3 of them were outcasts in a way. Bryony assumes that Jaime registered on Instagram and posted his photos to make new acquaintances. When she shifts the conversation to Katie's comments under Jaime's photos, he notices the psychologist blushing and teases her, joking that she was scared of a 13-year-old boy. Bryony asks her patient to stay on topic. Jaime says that Katie called him an incel, although he is not one. However, Jaime agrees that men with unattractive appearances are doomed to loneliness. Jaime denies harming Katie and claims that the surveillance footage is fake. When Katie's explicit photos spread throughout the class, Jaime asked her out, hoping that in her vulnerable state, he would have a chance to win her over. However, Katie rejected Jaime even then, saying she wasn't that desperate. Jaime does not deny that he threatened Katie in the parking lot and brought a knife with him, but he insists that things never went beyond threats. When Bryony tells him that this is their last meeting and that she intends to pass on the details of all their conversations to the judge, Jaime gets upset, despite previously wanting these stupid conversations to be over as soon as possible. Now Jaime wants to hear what Bryony likes about him, but she tells him she is here only as a specialist, nothing more. This triggers another outburst of Jaime's aggression, and the guard forcibly takes him away. Bryony breaks down emotionally and cries. This is one of the most difficult cases in her practice. 13 months later. Today is Eddie's 50th birthday, which his family is quietly celebrating at home. They try to enjoy life despite everything, but when he receives a birthday card from his son, Eddie cannot help but feel sad. Things were supposed to be different. Worried Lisa approaches her father, telling him about their van. Someone has written an offensive message on it. None of the neighbors admit to seeing anything, but Eddie doesn't believe them. Ever since Jaime was arrested, their family has been harassed. The trial is in 4 weeks, and Manda feels like she can't take it anymore. She wants to move, but Eddie refuses. Why should they leave when they have done nothing wrong? Lisa also tries to stay strong, not understanding why everyone considers her 13-year-old brother a monster. The trial hasn't even happened yet. No matter how hard Eddie tries, he cannot clean the van. He can't go to work with it looking like this tomorrow, so he plans to stop by a store for paint remover and wants his wife and daughter to come with him. What if the vandal returns and does something even worse? Eddie does his best to restore the festive mood and suggests that the whole family go to the movies in the evening and then have dinner at a Chinese restaurant. The couple reminisces about how they met. They have been in love since high school. The Millers stop by the supermarket to find something to remove the paint. At some point a store clerk recognizes Eddie's face and says he supports Jaime. In the clerk's opinion, if the Millers started a fundraiser for a good lawyer for Jaime, many people would support them. Eddie doesn't like attracting attention, and his mood is completely ruined. In the supermarket parking lot, he recognizes the guy who vandalized his van and attacks him, shouting that he should never come near his family again. Ignoring Manda's pleas to go home, Eddie, in front of everyone, starts covering the offensive message on the van with paint. Eddie's nerves are at their limit, and he gets into a conflict with a store security guard who demands that he clean up the mess in the parking lot. The drive home is silent until Eddie receives a call from his son from the correctional facility. Jaime wishes his father a happy birthday. Eddie tries to keep his voice deliberately cheerful so as not to upset his son any further. Unexpectedly, Jaime says that he intends to change his statement and plead guilty in court. Eddie is unable to say a word and hands the phone to Manda. Jaime mentions that he has started working out. Unfortunately, the call doesn't last long, as the time is limited. Before hanging up, Jaime says how sorry he is. Eddie gets out of the car, leaving his wife and daughter in tears. Soon they step outside as well. Manda is forced to accept the truth. Their son is a monster, just as everyone believes. Of course, going to the movies is out of the question now. This is no time for that. Despite everything, Manda believes that Jaime's guilty plea is for the best. They need to accept the truth and get through this. Unlike his wife, Eddie has seen the surveillance footage of Jaime attacking Katie. And yet until the very end, he didn't want to believe it. Could Manda and Eddie as parents have noticed the warning signs in time and prevented what happened? Even if they could have, time cannot be turned back, so there's no point in blaming themselves for the rest of their lives. Eddie always tried to be a better father than his own and never used physical force against his children. But why then did things turn out this way? Eddie doesn't understand how he let this happen. Maybe his father was right to be stricter in raising him? Lisa confesses to her parents that she is being bullied at school because of Jaime. Still, she doesn't want to move, knowing that sooner or later, people in a new place will find out too. While his wife and daughter set the table, Eddie steps into Jaime's room and cries again, this time without holding back. Then Eddie apologizes to his son for not doing more for him.